Yo, yo, what's up, everyone? I hope that you're having a fantastic week. This is Adrian Morrison. I'm excited to be here. Excited to give you this training tonight. I have something really cool to show you. Um, so everyone's piling on the webinar right now. While they're doing that, I'm just going to go over some basic housekeeping stuff, the usual. We have a ton of new people that kind of tune in each week. Um, these go-to webinars only hold 1,000 people. So, sometimes if you get here a little bit late and you try to log in, it says the room is full. It's not that we're not doing the webinars anymore. It's just that the room gets full. It hits max capacity. Generally, I find that if you just try for like 10 minutes, a lot of people end up getting in because some people tune in and they pop off and they tune back in for whatever reason. So yeah, anyways, if you're new and that ever happens, just keep trying to get in. You'll probably end up getting in. We stream these live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. And these webinars are really here to not to sell you anything, but rather to prevent you from blowing a bunch of money on courses and softwares and stuff that I already have the information or access to that I can share with you. All right, so this is just kind of keep you motivated, stay ahead of the curve, see what's coming, catch these waves, these e-com waves that happen, and of course, run your e-commerce store the right way, right, with confidence. So just make sure that you log on each and every week. We also we do record these. Edited versions do end up on my YouTube channel. So you can go to youtube.com/Adrian Morrison and you can see our YouTube channel. Last week I wasn't able to be here live. And so we replayed a training that I usually do once a year, during summer or right before summer. And I think everyone should go back on my YouTube and watch that. It's just make a huge splash with dog life jackets. It's one of those trainings that I don't think it's ever going to go out of style. And just to summarize it, because I'm going to respond to a comment someone left, which was a fair comment to make, and I want to address it on here. But we talked about when you're looking at finding a product, right? You want to look at, is it something that's trending right now? What is the market share size? Is it a broad market share or is it narrow? Are there TikTok viral videos? What is the benefit to the audience, right? And so from there, you find a product, you locate your audience so you can drive, that type of traffic to your store, and then you start optimizing to increase conversion rates. Because honestly, when you first launch a product on your e-com store, there are a lot of things that aren't going to be correct, that you're going to have to optimize for. Always be optimizing. And it could be that your price point's too high. You're selling the product, it's a little bit too expensive, right? And that's an indicator if you're getting no add to carts. Also an indicator is getting a bunch of add to carts, but no purchases. It means people want it, but when it gets down to pulling out their credit card, they can't really justify spending that much money, so they back out. That's really good indicators that you should maybe pull your price back, or instead of pulling your price back, offer like a 15 or 20% off discount code. So people have that value perception and that, okay, this is an expensive product, but I want to, if I want to get this, I better get it now because there's a 15 to 20% off discount on the product, or via this discount code creates a sense of urgency and value, which can oftentimes increase your conversion rate. Okay, so After that, you start tinkering with the pictures and the videos and the copy. And so one of the things that I've always looked at as pet products, I think there's a great broad niche to be in. And last week, and I'm not going to go through it all, but I showed you these life jackets that I kind of accidentally discovered and started getting sales on. And this was not a flagship product by any means. It's not that viral product that was just, destroying it, getting thousands of sales like I did with, other products, like the LED glow dog collar, for example. That's kind of the one that a lot of people know me for. But what it was is a product that was in demand per a specific season, and people themselves told me they wanted by buying it on my website without me advertising it, meaning that they came to my Shopify store for one thing and they ended up also purchasing these dog life jackets. That was the market telling me, hey, this is a product that's in demand that we want, that we're willing to pay for, and it keeps their dog safe. Okay, so anyways, this Howard Matthews guy left a comment 6 days ago and says, every year you talk about this product, isn't it dead? Does it still work for you guys? I think it's safe to say there's no magical store, magical marketing that makes products work. All these things are just contributors. Yes, dog life jackets work, but does a specific shiny, bright two-strap life jacket still make bank? I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think the jackets, but I think the world is filled with infinite different products to test. You can easily find an upgraded or similar version of anything. But anyway, let's see what else said. Love your valuable webinars as always. So this isn't a hate comment. Don't go attack this guy. It's a very valid question. 100% valid. And if you go back and historically look at the things that I teach, I've always kind of taught riding those seasonal waves, but also finding products and niches that are evergreen. And what I mean by evergreen is that there's always new customers for that product. So let me explain to you why dog life jackets still sell. Are they making bank? No, I don't think I ever said these things were making bank. I think that for a lot of people, they're making bank selling these products. It's a big product for a lot of people. For me, it was never my flagship product. It just became a product that we started setting our sights on per market demand, per people in our store looking at it, purchasing it, and then us paying attention to it in more detail. And here's what I mean. Okay, so if I come over here to Gemini, which is Google's basic version of like Chat GPT, and I say, how many people in the US each year adopt or buy a new puppy? Okay, so let's look at the data here. Approximately 2 million dogs are adopted from shelters each year. It's important to note that numbers include adult dogs as well as puppies. Data from 2022 indicates adult dogs were adopted more often than puppies from shelters. Around 40% of dogs acquired by owners come from animal shelters. This number has increased from 28%. Purchases. More dogs are purchased from breeders than adopted from shelters. Approximately 34% are purchased from breeders. Overall acquisition, roughly 7 million people just in America, we're not talking about the world, plan to adopt or acquire a pet each and every year. In 2024, 45% of households own pets, only 59 million households. Total number of dogs, 89.7 million. Okay, then they give us some important, considerations. All right, so I don't know, let's look at some more data here. We know that there are 7 million people per year buying puppies or adopting puppies. So what that means is if you're selling a product like the dog life jacket, it's never going to go out of style, right? Because there is 7 million just in America new potential customers every single year. So every day there are new customers that have a puppy that are a dog that are thinking about this very thing. So I would say, how many people with dogs or cats go hiking every year? Also, how many dogs or cats drown in water each year? I've never asked these questions before. I'm just playing with this. Tricky to find precise statistics on how many people hike with their dogs or cats annually, how many of these pets drown each year. Here's a breakdown of the available information. Research in 2020 indicate 50% of pet owners who take their pets on vacation take their dogs hiking. All right, so that's a lot of people each and every year out of that 59 million people, right? Of course, not all of those people hike. Another study said around the same time, 30% of traveling pets go camping. All right, so it's 30%. It's a massive number. Dogs. Estimates suggest that around 40,000 pets die in drowning accidents each and every year. Now, this is important data to know when you're advertising something like the dog life jacket, like we looked at last week, and like these products right here. Very, very important to know that around 40,000 pets die in drowning accidents each year. Other sources cite approximately 5,000 pet deaths per year, specifically in swimming pools, right? So there don't have to be people hiking near lakes or anything like that. That's just people that have pools. Not all dogs are natural swimmers. You wouldn't know that unless someone told you. You think dogs can naturally swim. So millions of people likely hike with their dogs each year, while hiking with cats is less common, but a growing activity. Sadly, tens of thousands of pets, predominantly dogs, are estimated to drown annually. Okay, so let's just ask you this. Would you consider a dog life jacket a good evergreen product for an e-com store to sell every year during spring and summer when dogs are more likely to be around lakes, oceans, or pools? Yes, I would definitely consider Dog Life Jacket to be a good evergreen product for e-commerce stores to sell. Seasonality and high demand. So this is just telling you what I already told you, right? The core need for dog life jackets directly aligns with the spring and summer months as weather warms up. While the peak demand is seasonal, the underlying need for dog water safety remains constant. Growing pet safety awareness. There's increasing awareness around this. Repeat purchases. While a single life jacket can last for several years, owners might need to replace them. So people come back and they'll buy another one, or maybe they have 2 or 3 dogs and they buy a couple, right? Versatile marketing opportunities that can be marketed toward various segments, including owners of specific breeds. Could be big dogs, small dogs, medium dogs, people that go boating, people that go that live or vacation, take their dogs to beaches. You know, the dogs can get caught up in the ocean. And there's also the potential, and I believe I said this, for upselling and bundling, right? So listen, the proof is all right here. It's in the data. Are these products right here the flagship product of your store? No, they're not the flagship product of your store. Are they a product that is evergreen into every single year? You should probably lean into as the weather warms up. And pet owners start to go around bodies of water with their puppies, their beloved pets, and their their animals. Yeah, of course, right? Because every year, right, there's millions upon millions of new pet owners that don't have dog life jackets, right? And probably would buy one if they are people that have their pets around pools and bodies of water and hiking and things like that. There's potential there. So this is an evergreen product in that Not that the product is going to sell in the winter, and it still does. I mean, I'm sure there's just the demand happens during the obviously the warmer months, but it's evergreen in that there's always going to be new customer generation for these. So I can't remember in this training because it was a replay. If I went over the Google Trends, it looks like I did play with Google Trends, and you can see the waves, right? You see these waves happening. I'm assuming this was, dog life jacket. Let's go back over to Google Trends real quick. Let's just pop over here. And so here's what I'm saying, y'all. I know that, we did last week, we talked about the dog life jackets, but I actually, I value your feedback. I value your questions. And I also appreciate the fact that many of you, are bold enough and smart enough to question the things that you hear online from people that are teaching, right? And it's totally 100% valid for you to ask a question like that to the person that commented on the YouTube. But what I've always said is I try to keep you ahead of the curve, right? I try to keep you on the cutting edge. The idea is to surf, not to boogie board. You want to catch the wave. And the only way that you catch a wave is to start paddling as the wave is forming. If you see a wave coming up and you just sit there on your surfboard, well, the wave is going to pass you. Other surfers are going to ride that wave, and you're still going to be sitting out in the ocean doing nothing, floating around. And what's happening right now is a follow-up of last week is the wave is forming. So if you look at the last 5 years of data here, these are the dog life jacket waves right here. It's people that they start that surges, like demand and curiosity for these products surges in July. That's when it peaks, right? And then it dips back down September, October, into the fall months. And then it starts peaking again. And it starts building up again in February. You start to see it slightly pick up. And then of course, you've got April and you've got May, March, April, May. So what's happening right now is we are still like on a 5-year scale, we're on that 25 mark. And what I'm trying to do is prepare you for this wave. So when I couldn't make it last week and I said, I got to have a training, I want to have something for them. I didn't just go pick out some old training that, just to show you something. I methodically thought about it. I spent time. I said, what makes sense right now? What's going to give them good value here on this free webinar this week, even though, I wasn't able to be here. And that's why the dog life jacket came up, because we are currently ahead of the curve. Because what happens once it gets to that 25 mark? See every year what happens when it gets to the 25 mark on here? Can somebody just say it? What happens? It skyrockets up. There's no longer a, kind of a stagnant line that's kind of barely moving up. Every year, once it hits that 25 mark, which is about what we're at, it busts up to 50, and then it busts up again into that 75 to 100 range. And so this year, I expect to be no different. You can see it's following the same exact path. And right here, once we get to May, which that's basically now, right? It's going to skyrocket up again. And in June and July, it will be at its peak. So what happens if you listen to me now and you listen to me last week and you just kind of follow my suggestion? What happens? Well, what happens is in the next couple of weeks, when this thing starts surging again, right? Like it does every year and has done for the last 5 years. Let's look at 2004 through present. It's been doing this now for 20 years, basically. For 20 years, the same wave has been happening. 20 years of data, okay? COVID hit a little different. That's why all of these are so low, because COVID manipulates the data a little bit, because it was just so intense and so hot. People were at home and they were at pools a lot, like home pools and things like that. Maybe they were lonely and they were adopting more animals that year, were getting adopted, so on and so forth. Anyways, it's happening again, just like it does every year, just like it has pretty much for the last 20 years. So what happens when you listen to me is you start peddling right now. You get these on your store, you start testing ads for these, right? You can use AI to write some ad copy, AI to generate some really cool ads, or some UGC creators to get some dog life jacket products and review them, do some videos for you, right? You showcase the product and the benefits. You get the data from ChatGPT or Google or Gemini on how many dogs unfortunately pass away each year from drowning. You know, that is people buy off of fear, and we don't want to play off of fear, you know, in a bad way. But we also want people to understand, you know, if you don't have one of these, your dog could be at risk. If you love your dog, why the heck would you have them and put them at risk, right? And so that educates people and helps them make a conscious decision. It's not even an impulse purchase a lot of times. It's kind of like it would make sense to have one of these. Maybe I don't need it right now, but I'm going to get one so I have it when I do need it. So what happens is, last week you listened to me and you start peddling, and when the wave really forms, you're in position to stand up, cruise, and surf, because you've done the hard work. You've got the products on the store. You've got your ad copy strategy taken care of, your ad creative strategy taken care of, the products listed, the discounts are listed. You've tested the market a little bit, so you know your price point, models of these jackets, so you know which ones people are really more interested in, be it the funny ones with the shark fin versus like tactical ones versus just like the basic ones. Right now, you have that opportunity to test, make mistakes, and find out what's going to work for you. So when we hit these two spikes that happen, and excuse me, from May to June and June to July, before it starts to fall off, you're able to ride that wave. Once you've ridden that wave, if you're able to do so, now hopefully you have a boatload of people who own dogs and love their dogs who have clicked your ads, okay? Those people are now on a retargeting list in Facebook and Meta platforms. So you're able to retarget those dog owners with other dog products. These are people that showed intent to purchase something for their animals. We know that they have a dog, we know that they care about their dog, and we know that they're at least thinking about spending money on their dog. So you have this huge retargeting list of people that clicked your ads for the life jackets. So in September, when the life jackets are busted, no one's really buying them anymore, you have a massive list of retargeting audiences on the Meta platform that you can target other things to without relying on keywords. You can hit that hot list of prospects. It's a small list compared to just all dog owners in the world, but a hot list that's more likely to click and become a customer. The second thing is if you've generated sales, right, then you have an email list. Actually, you don't have to generate sales, get an email list. You just have to have people add to cart and put their email in and get to the last step before they pay. So you have an email list of dog owners. So now you can start email marketing to them, dog toys, Christmas things, or Halloween costume for dogs, all sorts of things. So when you hit this wave and the wave finally crashes and it subsides, right, there's another wave right behind it. That's how the ocean works. The ocean just doesn't stay flat, you know, like waves are always forming. So once you get You ride that wave, you paddle back out, and you catch the next wave. What's the next wave? Next wave might be, you know, Halloween costumes for dogs. It might just be funny T-shirts with dog sayings on it for Christmas and things like that. So there's so many different things, so many different products all year. People are buying for dogs, and the thing is that everybody, there's so many people adopting and buying dogs every year that you never run out of customers. There's never going to be a drought of new dog owners. People are all, it's man's best friend. They're always going to be adopting and buying dogs. Now, did I intend to spend 25 minutes talking about what I did last week? No, I had something else in mind for you this week, which I'll push to next week. But what I want to do is I wanted to first off, I wanted to say thanks to Howard for leaving this comment. You know, I'm not a YouTuber. Like, I have 100,000 subs. I really honestly don't even know how, as people just like find my stuff and watch it. My videos, they're really just 30-minute long to hour-long replays of trainings. YouTube doesn't really push long-form content. They, from my understanding, like stuff between 8 and 16 minutes for the algorithm to really push it. And so when people watch this and they do comment, I read those comments and I appreciate them and I try my best to answer them. And the thing is I thought that this comment was a great comment, and I thought it was a great opportunity for me to come on here this week and answer that comment with some facts, right? Not just me saying, oh, I think. It's just factual that this is a product that is in demand at this time every year. We are at the base or the bottom of this, where the wave is starting to form. All you have to do is start, you know, paddling right now and be prepared. Will the dog life jackets make you bank? I have no clue. I don't know what the hell you're gonna do. I don't know what your ads are gonna look like. I don't know what audiences you're gonna target. I have no clue. All I can just show you the facts and say, hey, I think this is a good idea, and it's been a good idea every year for the last 20 years. If you look at Google Trends, jump on this, take advantage of it. It's not going to make you a millionaire. It's not going to be get rich quick. It's not a magical store or a bright, shiny product. This is the opposite of shiny object syndrome. It is one of those products that you would not think people care about and would buy because it's super basic, but they buy because there is an actual need and demand for it. And there really are animals every year that, you know, unfortunately die in water accidents from drowning. Think about how many people take their dogs on boats in lakes in the ocean, and they, you know, they don't put dogs on life jackets, and they hit a someone else's wake or bump, the dog falls out, and you know, it's these things happen. So this is not a bright shiny object. It's the opposite. It's a common sense product that is evergreen. Bright shiny objects, they fizzle and no one ever wants them again. They're only hot for a minute. Think fidget spinners and hoverboards and many other things. This is a practical product that common sense, dedicated, loving buyers will be interested in, that you could potentially turn into long-term customers buying other dog products, right? You're not just selling 1 or 2 life jackets one time to someone. Once they're on your list, once they become a customer, you're going to be selling them multiple dog products. You're going to be selling them all sorts of stuff in the dog niche. Next week, maybe I'll go over a lot of like really cool hot products that are in the dog niche that you could take advantage of, because the dog niche has been the best niche out of all the niches to me. And I've been in various niches, many niches. And the dog niche for me was the golden one. For other people, it's other things, right? For me, it was dog stuff. And I teach things that I know and that I do. I don't teach stuff based off of what I think and I've seen other people do. because I'm not a poser. So that being said, just look at the data. It speaks for itself. So thanks so much for that comment. I think it brought on a really cool training this week for y'all to kind of understand the mindset and how an old product like that, it's been around forever, can still work right now, because it's not a shiny object, a bright shiny object product. It's an evergreen common sense product that you sell to a new group of dog owners to the tune of 7 million in the US. I don't know worldwide what it is, every single year, who are going to demand, they're going to type into Google and show demand for this product. And you will have ads there serving to them, answering that demand. And that's called marketing. Give the people what they want. That is marketing. Selling is knocking on someone's door, asking them if you can wash their windows, landscape their yard, or get them a better rate on some type of insurance when they're just chilling on a Saturday afternoon, trying to relax and not interested in those things at all. That's selling, right? It's a great skill if you can do that. Phenomenal skill, but it is a skill to sell. So I'm not knocking on anybody that does that. I respect the hustle, but that is an example of selling things to people that they don't want. You have to sell them on it. Marketers do not sell. Marketers figure out what people want and they put it in front of their face at a optimal time where there's actually demand for it and the people want it right then and there. Okay, so that's that. Love you all. Wish you all a ton of success. Sorry, I did not mean to spend. I could keep going, but I'll spare you. I think I've conveyed the point and shown you the data, but I think it's cool, right? I think it's super cool. Like, you see how I get to this point. You see I look at Google Trends. You see that I use AI to do a little bit of research and statistically find out how many new dog owners are every year, how many dogs die every year from these types of, from drowning, and what types of activities dogs might be doing where they would be in water, be it boating or hiking or camping. All of these things are going to help you learn how to create better ads and get better customers and run a better e-commerce store. So I hope that you enjoyed it this week. Super raw training. But again, wish you a ton of success. I will see you next week. Same place, same time, right here on the Profit Power Hour, 9 p.m. EST. And your boy will show you some more hot products in the dog niche. And I got something really cool that is completely free that me and a partner of mine are building that we will be giving away to you in about 2 weeks. Again, it is free. There is no hook. There is no bait. It is free, and it's going to be freaking cool. So I can't wait to share that with y'all, but bear with us while we get it done, and I'll reveal what it is at a later date. All right, that's it. I'm going to shut up. Have a great week. Go put some dang dog life jackets on your Shopify store. Let's go.